Hello, welcome to our CWTC Get Connected community podcast, where we share experiences, promote services, create health awareness and highlight opportunities available for local communities. Strong relationships often start with natural introductions and real life connections, where people meet without pressure and get to know each other honestly. These connections help build trust and understanding. Emotional compatibility is just as important as it means being able to communicate well, support each other and grow together. Joining us today is Gazala Saleem, a global matchmaker and professional accredited relationship coach from Birmingham and presenter of the Global Matrimony Show. She will help us know more about organic introductions, real-life connections, and emotional and financial compatibility in relationships. Sister Gazala, welcome to Oldham.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy being here.
Have you had a safe journey?
I've had a very safe journey. Thank you very much for asking.
No roadblocks, everything's went smooth?
No, very smooth journey this morning, coming up from Birmingham. So thank you for having me here. It's a brilliant course what you're doing here.
Thank you.
Studios.
I think you're doing a wonderful job in making people's life better informed and happy, and give them a happy future by bringing them together. So tell us a bit more about yourself.
So my name is Gazala Saleem. I'm a relationship coach and matchmaker. I've also written several books on relationships.
Excellent.
I feel that this is really important, that people understand what is entailed in a relationship, so that they can understand themselves and understand relationships to make successful relationships. So my background was in education, so that is something that I've always been very passionate about. So I'm bringing the educational element into the relationship so that people can learn about relationships before they actually encounter relationships.
Absolutely.
And alhamdulillah, I've won an international award for outstanding leadership in education, which was presented to me in Dubai. And I feel that this is a good marriage to bring together, apart from bringing two people together as a marriage, but bringing my educational expertise and matchmaking, bringing these two together to help the community is something that I'm quite proud to be giving to people, that expertise, so that they can have more meaningful relationships.
Absolutely. And it's so important to have that professional approach. And I was very pleased to see from your profile as having the accreditation for providing that professional support. How important do you think that is to ensure that when people do have issues or want to know more, that this professional information guidelines are important for the long-term growth?
Well, for individuals, somebody who is knowledgeable about a particular field, somebody who has the expertise, not just on a piece of paper, but also for somebody who has lived through several struggles and have life experiences, lived the actual situation. So when somebody discusses the struggles or the complications that they might be having in their relationship, you can feel that emotion, you can experience that emotion, and then you can work with strategies with them on how they can move to the next stage. So it's absolutely vital that whoever you approach to support you in this journey of relationship, that person shouldn't be a random person who just feels that this is something that I can offer you, perhaps through their network, but somebody who really has a full understanding of the dynamics of these situations, that they can guide you and support you and help you to get to the stage that you need to get to.
And as they say, expert by experience. And then to be able to lend that experience to other people to make a difference, a positive difference in their lives, is commendable. So what do we understand by organic introductions in relationships?
So organic introductions really are where people are meeting through their own circle. So that could be through college, university, through work environments, friends, family. Yeah, so this isn't something that has been created, or this isn't something that's gone on online and searching for that soulmate of yours. There's so many different applications that are out there, so many of them that don't even do any verifications on individuals. So there's no background checks that are being done on on that individual. But there are some that say that we have verified profiles. Some of them that have offered them to do certain activities before they can actually be approved as well. So we ourselves have an application, Love Connection, which we feel is has got verified profiles. But organic matching is where or organic meetups are where people organically would meet someone in their own environment, and it's a great way because you would know that person. It would create that romantic story with that individual. It's not just something that you've had to go out and create.
And there's no pressure involved. And people feel there's a good feel factor about it.
There's a good feel factor. You're getting to know each other. You're connecting on a different level. There's the expectations are going to be very different. The mindset is going to be very different. It's more of a romantic story rather than let's just go and we met online. Some people feel a little bit intimidated about that as well. Also, there's a lot of people that go online just for the fun of it. Then they get ghosted and they just feel disheartened. When you meet somebody on a regular basis, you know who they are, what they are,
and you begin to feel a bit safer.
So that's absolutely, So there's a lot of benefits with meeting people organically than meeting people online, and we know that meeting people organically involves you having to have good conversations, good communication skills, good interactions with individuals, and a lot of the younger generation, I would say, these modern relationships, let's just call them, that they have this reluctancy of actually going up to somebody and having that conversation.
So in terms of the, you feel the real life connections are better than the digital ones online? As you mentioned,
well, they connect better because when you're online, you have to arrange a meeting. Sometimes that person might just be there, just having fun. You don't know if they're already married. You don't know if they're already, in a relationship with someone else, but they're just chatting to you for the fun of it. The seriousness is not there. But if you're meeting somebody who you've met through organically, and you learnt a lot about them, who their friends are, know who their circles are, you're already halfway there.
So it's much more better having face-to-face connections rather than...
I think people connect better that way. Not to say that...
So many things you'd learn from each other.
Not to say that digital, or online platforms don't work. They do. Many people have met their partners online and they've been very successful. It's just a completely different level when you meet somebody organically and you fall in love, you make that connection. It's a lot more, people are a lot more content that way, that we've met them ourselves, this person was brought to me, and the love story is there for them, to say, well, how did we meet and what happened, rather than just say, we met online, or it's kind of, that's been created because you've deliberately gone online to meet someone for that purpose.
And of course, being Muslims as well, there are Islamic values as well, and keeping your boundaries, knowing those parameters as well. To ensure, but it's important that you get to know about each other.
But from an Islamic sort of perspective, some might argue that you shouldn't be mixing with the opposite gender, and you shouldn't be talking about. We're living in the real world. We're living here in the UK. The girls and the boys, they go to school together, they go to college together, they go to university together, and in fact, a lot of the parents that are in contact with me have said that we've said to our daughter that if you have met someone that and just let us know, and we'll go forward with it. The only requirement is that they are of the same religion, or that they have the similar values. If culture can come into it, then that's great. But there are a lot of interracial marriages that are going on now, because more and more people are kind of like accepting different religions and things, you know. So
that actually brings me on to ask you, in terms of the cultural background influence, how does it influence the compatibility in the relationship?
Well, research has shown that when people marry within their own culture, they have the same mindset, the same values, so those relationships tend to work better. But whereas if people are marrying out of their culture, then there are different things that they would need to learn or adjust, or, you know. So, for example, if somebody's from a British, you know, background, they might find it a little bit strange of the way maybe an Asian cultural sort of background is, because they're accustomed to and used to their way of living, you know. But not to say that these marriages are not successful. No. In fact, they're very successful. You know, I have family members who are married into different, you know.
It's about being open-minded and respecting your cultural differences.
Absolutely. But just generally speaking, when people do marry within their own culture, they already have an understanding of the values and the mindset and the respect element and everything else that comes with it. So they're able to connect better in that way. And their expectations are already aligned with each other.
How can someone create opportunities for organic introductions in the modern life?
Well, there's lots of things that people can do. You know, they can, if they know of maybe, rather than going through the matchmakers and doing things, if they know somebody's got a young son, you know, who they're looking for, and they can maybe arrange for them to be at the same place at the same time, to bump into each other and maybe see where things go from there, you know.
And there's also natural settings, isn't it? Whether it's family events, culture events,
absolutely,
or social events.
Weddings, you know.
Weddings,
even weddings. There's so many people that have said, I went to a wedding and I saw a girl and I really liked her, and you know, so they, although it's just a social setting, you know, they've gone there, it's naturally happened. You've liked her, not that somebody's showing you a picture or showing you a profile and saying, here you are, would you like to see this person? They might just want to reject that. But if they see that same person in front of them at a wedding, or dressed up and what have you, they might feel attracted to them in a different way. So sometimes we have to create these situations. And even as a matchmaker, although, you know, we do matchmaking where we show profiles, we try to make it so that we can create a natural way of them to meet, rather than just say, okay, just see the profile and say, well, forget about the profile, you know, what are you doing, you know, next weekend? Let's just see what they're doing, and let's try to get this interaction and this connection done in more of an organic way.
And you know, when you're looking at matchmaking as well, or when people are actually brought together, there's the emotional compatibility. How important is that in a relationship? How do they actually sort out these differences, if any?
Well, from an educational perspective, I feel that that's actually more important than anything else, because it's about the, you know, it's about creating meaningful relationships.
Understanding each other.
Absolutely. So the marriage is not just the one day or the honeymoon period or anything. Absolutely. It's everything else that comes with marriage as well. So it's the journey that they'll be taking. So understanding that and, you know, making sure that the compatibility is there. What are your thoughts on things? How do you visualize your life being, you know, and how does your partner visualize things to happen as well?
And it also is important to discuss head on, really, in terms of if there's a conflict that would arise, how would you actually handle that?
Absolutely.
To understand your mindset. And you begin to feel, well, emotionally, am I able to adjust to that or not?
Yeah. So, having that communication channel where you're able to ask those questions that would affect you, and if a situation arises where there are disagreements, then how would you handle that? And even asking about, when you're upset about a situation, do you get angry? Do you switch off? What are your reactions? Because they won't be living with each other, which, other communities are able to do before marriage. They need to learn more about, how can they see this relationship?
How can they resolve issues?
How can they resolve issues?
And support each other through difficult times.
Yeah. So it's about discussing that. It's about setting boundaries. It's about where they would have that communication, who they would have it in front of, what tone of voice they will use. Where would they think, would they have a strategy to say that I'm just going to go quiet, I'm just going to leave it for a few days, and then let's just come back and then just discuss it, because I'm a person that needs a little bit of time. I know when things are heated for me, I get very angry, so that's the strategy I'm going to use. So it's about having that communication, so you have that understanding with each other.
Just to be open about it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes attraction is not always the answer.
No,
it's everything that goes with it,
of
the
course,
responsibility of being together. Money side, I think. Financial compatibility is often overlooked in a relationship, but how important is it? Knowing that money is an aspect of life.
Of course.
And we have to manage that, whatever mindset you have.
Yeah. I think money, more and more over the years, I think people have been more focused on finances and money and luxury, and a lot of it has been the cause of social media and the lifestyles that people are looking at and stuff. And obviously we're living, in a time where a lot of people are struggling with cost of living and things. So planning financially together is really important. Budgeting is really important. Being realistic is really important, of what you can afford and what you can't afford.
What impact would it have if people have got this motive to marry people with high finances?
Marrying somebody of a higher level that they're financially secure isn't really always the answer. What are you looking for to be happy? I mean, money can sometimes buy you certain things, but
it's a life choice, isn't it? How you want to
it doesn't really
spend.
Necessarily make you happy. Intellect, having similar intellect or similar understanding can make you a lot more happier, I would think. A lot happier, I would think. But the things that I would say is that financially, people are marrying, when they are marrying, they are looking for a 50-50 split. A lot of the guys are saying that, okay, if we're going to buy a house together, then she has to contribute 50% and I'll contribute 50%. And this, again, from an Islamic perspective is not right, because the man is supposed to be the provider and the woman is supposed to be the homemaker, okay? So that, you can see that there's going to be issues, because she might have children, she might not be able to hold her job down, because she might have to have time off with the children.
It's like anything else. You're on the offset, you plan that. Both
absolutely.
as a family, both as a couple to be, you plan that and be straight in your circumstances. And there are other mindsets as well. Is what is your spending habits are like, etc. If you got a debt mindset, then you have issues.
Of course, if somebody's just going to go and take out so many credit cards and think, well, okay, let's go on holiday and let's do this and let's do that, it's going to cause further down the line, it's going to cause more issues and more problems for you. So it's about being sensible. It's about being practical. It's also with the male and the female, if they do decide and they're happy to do the 50-50 because they want to move out from the parents' house, they want to get their own place. And then again, if the marriage does fail, then it is a 50-50 split, isn't it, between them?
Absolutely.
So,
and I think when the trouble does occur, it's about how do you actually manage that amicably. If you're in the offset, set out these terms and conditions, whatever you want to call it, because we were talking about the prenuptial agreement earlier on. And that is so important. Not many people know about it. Even some of the adaras don't know much about it, and I think that should be looked at professionally. What's your views on that?
I think the prenuptial should be taken in a positive way. People shouldn't think, oh, why do you need a prenuptial? It's about your protection, and it's about protection of the other individual as well. And whatever you create together, that's both of yours. But a lot of people might come into a marriage already having a lot of wealth, but they, because people might be marrying them for that particular wealth, then at least if they've got that protected, then that's their right to do that.
Absolutely.
So prenuptials are a good thing if you see them in a positive way. I know that a lot of people don't like them. They don't think that they're very they don't welcome them.
But the fact is, when the situation arises, then nobody's with you except the two people themselves who have to resolve things. And that's when it becomes a pressure, especially when you have children.
Absolutely.
So isn't it advantageous, is sensible to sort it well before?
Of course it is.
Then you can rest in peace.
Of course, I totally agree. And I think with the way things are going, the trends are going, unfortunately we are seeing more and more people divorced now. Even not just the younger generation, but even people that are a lot older, they just feel that they're not compatible. They might have lived together for 25, 30 years, and they decide that, okay, I've had enough now. I just need peace in my life, and I can't really deal with this anymore, and they'll just walk away, So I think having something in place that's going to protect you is a good thing.
And, when we talk about when you get married and from a certain time you do find where there's compatibility, you try it for a certain time because you want to, or because you have children now, and you need to take a step back and hope things would work out in both best of both interests. But then you could end up sometime discovering that you probably don't want to see or hear, and that's when difficulties arises. No matter how much time you've spent between each other. So it's a big topic, and the expertise that you have, the experience that you have through coaching, meeting people, matchmaking, I think it's a great asset to our community, having you here.
So much needed in our community.
And to have that professional advice and guidance, again, I keep reiterating, very important. So what is the key takeaway for our viewers and your recommendation how to make a better relationship, stronger relationship,
I would
so
say
that we can grow old together.
That's the aim, isn't it, of everyone, inshallah. So I think it's really important to first know exactly who you are, and what your own particular needs are, and loving yourself first before you go to love a partner. Because if you don't love yourself, if you feel that that you're lacking in some way, then how can you expect that person to love you? So when you love yourself, you understand what you want, then you'll respect yourself, and then other people will respect you as well. Other people will love you as well.
Absolutely. As a man, you're a provider for your home. It is very important that you work yourself up to the level of providing, to be secure in every way. And it's a natural thing, and to know that you have those things in place to be able to give, to love and share. It's very important to secure the other side. And then the other side should be able to respect what you're able to providing and enjoy the partnership, really.
Definitely, I think that's exactly what it's all about. When a guy is not taking on the responsibility or is a bit of a mommy's boy or whatever it might be, you know, then that's not going to be very respectful from the woman's side. You know, she needs a man who's a provider, who can take, and he wants to do it through his own love and his own affection.
That's very
not
important.
That he's being pressured into anything, you know. And a lot of real men, they want to show that they are the real men, and they want to do it.
It's a natural thing,
and they feel proud of doing it.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And it's that pride that keeps going, you know, and to see it that through your partner, it's a wonderful life, really. And you mentioned about being a mommy's boy or mommy's girl, or having different elements, of external elements influencing your relationship. That's another topic. Maybe we can.
Definitely. We need to talk about that on a different show.
And how you can protect yourself. Because I'm a believer that you need to protect your own house,
of course,
before allowing anybody else to take that space. Gazala, would you like to add anything else we missed, perhaps? So
we've got an event coming up in Oldham.
And that's here.
That's here.
CWTC Oldham.
So, and it's been a while since we've done one in up north in Manchester. So hopefully this will be a real great event for people to come and connect. It's a family event, so parents are more than welcome as well. And our events are very educational. They teach you about relationship, the dynamics of relationships. They've got a selection grid as well. So, you know, anybody who is looking to get married, perhaps, you know, get in touch, and we'll be able to give you the details of
that. At the end, we will have the details of your contact as well. And I can assure you, having met Sister Gazala, the team is very professional in their approach to the events and to the real cause of matchmaking, and would encourage people to come in and join. It's a very safe place here, and most welcome, and come and take the advantage of your good services.
So events are good because they do kind of create like a little bit of an organic thing as well. Because yes, you are coming to an event, but you're coming to network. It's like a social gathering. Absolutely. So hopefully the love of your life is also going to be here as well, and you'll meet and you'll connect, and lots of different ways of how you can approach this. So we support you and guide you of how to make that connection with the individual.
Lovely. Thank you, Sister Gazala, coming to the Oldham studio. Thank you for watching. Please get in touch with Gazala for any further information and support. And don't forget to visit CWTC here for many opportunities. God bless and take care. Allah Hafiz.